Steel Rangers.
Today is September 26th. We are here at Harris Gate Vonsild Tree Farm. We are heading up the ridge to connect a few trails from earlier this year. We will see you on the trail. Based on a prior experience, we plan to spend 2 or 3 days to finish the northern section of the tree farm. It turns out that a few years of practice can make a huge difference in how much we're able to cover on foot in one day. Looking back, we should have treated this obstacle at the gate as a giant warning for what's ahead. A season worth of growth on Northwest Blackberry requires nothing less but utmost respect. This trip took us to amazing views, hidden treasure, and at one point quite literally brought us down to our knees. Look up to the lichen-covered trees and down to the last flowers of the season. Remember the steep hills that we traversed earlier? This drop is not recommended for anyone with fewer than 2 lanes or at least 4 paws. Even the hoofed critters seem to avoid this place. We'll go this way instead.
We're just about to close in on the last place where we turned around. The finger pointing right there is a big giant stump where we had our snack several months ago. The sky is beautiful. The valley is not as green as we remembered. And the view opens up to all the hills that we already hiked or yet to have to hike.
What a majestic sight to see a huge bird take off a few feet from below the road we were on. We're getting hungry now. The view is perfect, but a shade would be nice too. That is an enormous tree. Too bad there is no good log to sit on.
Years ago, we came from that road. We did not see the view here. It was surrounded by pretty tall trees and pretty heavy underbrush. Now we have a beautiful view with a giant smile. Back to our trail. And this spot right here, we named Winnie the Pooh Trail. It's actually a rather small loop, but we couldn't see where we're going. So we went out on one side, came out the other side, and thought there was another road shooting off somewhere. So we went back around again. And then we went back around again. So we're going to walk our Winnie the Pooh Trail and hopefully find us a lunch log or a stump or something with this absolutely gorgeous view. This is the farthest end of Winnie the Pooh Loop. A few months ago, we came down from down below there somewhere. There was a dead end of the road. And then we meandered up this hill to connect to the road like a couple of deer. And then we came back this way. That was one of our longest trips. And the view is so worth every step.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Aha! Perfect! A lunch and a view. Well, what else are we supposed to do for a shade? After lunch, we got to see a lot of wildlife in action. This Fuzzy Wuzzy was recorded live. No camera tricks or speed up settings. Look at him go! Back in the shade of mature trees, we have no trouble finding a giant to hug. Then, we finally found it.
We're at the top of the ridge and finally found the place that we discovered some years ago, and we were fascinated back then, still fascinated today. It looks like a very well kept hunting lodge, locked up, waiting for the next season.
One last look at the cute outhouse. Glance back at the ridge. Admire a lace of dew on the spider's web. And then press on to complete the circle. There's just one problem. From last time, we knew there was a nice chunk of a road that was completely covered in a mudslide. 5 years ago, we followed a deer path through the thicket of willows to find the other end. We'll have to repeat this trick. How bad could it be? Odd how even the mighty trees think this may be a bad idea. The site behind us still resembles a road. This is what's before us. It's only 1/10 of a mile, but for a few endless horrifying moments, it taught us who's the boss in this land. Believe it or not, we're almost in the clear. A few more paces, and we finally found an old road under our feet. At 1.5 miles after the washout, the way back was definitely shorter, except it was overgrown with thistles and horsetails. Woohoo! The barn! Just a few more feet.
We have finished Vonsild Forest. This is what you look like after a washout and a fight with a blackberry. Good. One thing we're gonna say, we won. Woohoo!
Today we hiked 10.5 miles in 6.5 hours. We collected a very small amount of trash, especially because of the long distance we went. We collected 2 recyclables. The sun is setting and the rain is coming in, so we're gonna shake off all of our seeds and get out of here. We'll see you next time on #Playking. Today is September 26th. We are here at, what's the gate?
What are we doing today?
Cool.
We're going up the ridge, trying to connect a few dots we left from the summer. Go.
We are going up the ridge to collect a few dots for the summer.
No.
I forgot what to say. Today is September... Today we hiked 10.5 miles in 6.5 hours.